Hi, so this video is going to be about dry eyes and how this can affect the results of your eye test, and also some tips for dealing with dry eyes. So dry eyes can happen, say for instance, if you work at a computer, you're always staring at the screen, not blinking very much, so you're not lubricating the eye with tears basically. So your eyes can get very dry, they can feel scratchy and itchy. They can become very sensitive to light. They can even start to water. That can be a sign of dry eyes as well. And some people actually have this as a condition. You can take medicines for it. Very commonly artificial tears are given in the form of eye drops. So how can this affect the eye test? Well, if you have dry eyes in an eye test, it can actually make a 20/20 into a 20/35 visual acuity score. So that is at least a diopter's difference. I think it might be actually more than that if both eyes are affected, because there's a kind of multiplying effect there. And if you're using the autorefractor, that can be even worse, because you don't blink when you use the autorefractor. So you will have dry eyes, and if you've got dry eyes, that will bring your visual acuity down when it might not be that bad. If you're doing the push fogging test, so that is where you look at the letters on the wall, on the Snellen chart. You naturally blink while you're reading the letters, so you got more chance of getting the result that is right for you. And it's always better to do the push fogging before you do the autorefractor. So if there's a difference between the two, you can see it. Whereas if you do the autorefractor first, your eyes can get stuck, and then because the push fogging test is then the same, you can get a misleading result that way. So what can you do about dry eyes? Now I promise you I have tips that are a little bit different from the norm. So obviously habits like not looking at a computer screen for too long, you know, there's that is fairly sensible. Making sure you blink often enough. Now the very first thing I would say would be to make sure that your vision is comfortable at all times. So if you might need reading glasses, for example, to make it easier to read, you might need a lower minus, that is, say, going from a -3 to a -2 in some situations, or you might not need glasses at all, or you might need a plus. Whatever makes your eyes more comfortable will enable you to blink properly, basically. So your eyes it should never ever be uncomfortable to look at anything. So that is the very first basic rule. And then obviously there's good habits like watching how much screen time you have, because obviously if you're staring at the telly or you're staring at a computer or on your phone all day, you're not going to blink, you're not going to be lubricating your eyes. And that's one reason people end up in pseudomyopia, quite apart from the eye strain as well in the close accommodation. Now another thing you can do is drink plenty of water. Now hydrating yourself, that is just a part of it. So I'm very fond of drinking tea, and the first thing I reach for in the morning is my cup of tea. Well, I don't do that anymore. I still drink tea, I still love tea, but I've started actually drinking water when I'm thirsty. And the reason for that is, when you drink tea or when you drink coffee, you're sipping it a little bit at a time, and you've also got the steam coming up in your face. But when you drink water, you're just drinking naturally, and you do blink as it goes down. So I'm making sure I do that. So just introducing a more natural habit. Also, and breathing. So I'm a chronic breath holder. Part of it is because I have asthma, and part of it was because I overuse my close accommodation for years and years and years. So I'm learning to breathe deeply, and I have to remind myself to do that, because very often I'll be sitting like this and I'm not upset or anxious or stressed or anything like that. This is just my natural habit. So I'm just learning, breathe in, I'll straighten up, my shoulders will sink, and it will immediately change what I can see. I'm also using, I won't say artificial tears, but I've got some saltwater capsules from the optician. They're very, very good. So it's just to wet my eyes every now and then, just to remind my eyes, this is what it's like when the eye is properly lubricated. Now with screen time, again, there is an extra thing at play here. So not only are you not blinking when you look at a screen, partly because it's brightly lit, but there's also a fan going which throws up hot air, and you might not realise it, but it's something I notice if I have a bit of a cough, because I have asthma, so I can feel that the air coming from the fan is different, and it will be going into your eyes. So likewise with central heating, that is going to dry the air out, so you've got more chance of your eyes being dried out. So maybe opening the window, or going outside in the fresh air for a walk every now and then is a good idea. Now I'm not sure where taking a shower occurs on this, because I like to stand in a hot shower, and obviously you've got steam, so the steam is wet, or the water vapour, shall we say, but also because a warm shower will actually dry out the skin more. So I do wonder maybe if that is making the eyes a little bit drier. But yeah, oh yeah, the breathing deeply also helps you to blink. So when you're holding your breath, if you're clenching your teeth and what have you, you are again staring. So a deep breath helps you to blink. So those are the things I'm doing, and it should make my eyes a little bit more comfortable, because every time I see something I kind of flinch, and that could be because I've got dry eyes, so my vision is a bit sensitive. So if I can make my vision a bit less sensitive, then I can get glasses that are a bit more appropriate for me. Maybe they'll go up a bit, or maybe my eyes will relax. Sorry, I meant maybe they'll come down a bit. That would be preferable. Or maybe my eyes will relax and it will stay the same. I don't know. But yeah, that is my tips for dry eyes. This is my first video. In my next video I'm actually going to be looking at the role of asthma and where dry eyes come into this. So please like, subscribe, and hope to see you in my next video.